And we're live! Woohoo! Welcome along to the live stream, everybody. Welcome along to Not My Studio. Today we are going to be doing some live stuff actually in a real live living room. So no luxury facilities, no things to be grabbed by immediately opening a drawer and opening and finding a whole bunch of lighting. No, what I've got is what we're going to be using. So thank you very much for joining me. If you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. Hello, I'm one of the presenters on Adorama TV. I'm Gavin Hoey and we do a live stream once a month and it is January. This is live 49. I don't know if anyone's keeping count. Number 49. I know. So you can hear them, but you can't see them because we're not in our usual studio. On the Super Switcher, I've got Freya, and on the chat, I've got Sam.
Hello. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Yeah, it's a bit weird. You can't see us.
No.
But we can see you all. No, we can't really. I'm joking. We are, working very hard, but you can't see us. And I'll tell you where everyone's from, shall I?
You can give me the edited highlights.
I'll give you the edited
Unless
highlights.
there's only 3 or 4 people watching, in which case
there's quite a few, actually. I'll just buzz through the country, shall I? We've got Canada. We've got, of course, Alan's here from Bushy Park. Hi, Alan. We've got lots of people from Canada, actually. We've got Gordon saying, I almost forgot to say good afternoon to Seth, as I am sure he's hiding here somewhere, but he's not, actually. No. He's at a trade show, Gordon,
he's
so not staying.
out doing Imaging USA.
Maryland, where
yes.
the cookies are from. It's Lisa.
Yay.
Washington, we've got Stockholm. Obviously, we've got a couple of people in Sweden, actually. New Zealand, we've got Nigeria, we've got Germany. We had somebody at Niagara Falls. There we go, Ian. He's said hello.
Ooh, and Canada.
I was just a bit worried he's sort of falling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In a barrel going over the edge.
We've got Paul who's building an ark in East London. It's been pretty wet in the UK. Brazil, I bet it's nice in Brazil, Ronald. I hope it is. We've got Romania, we've got Norway, we've got France, Israel.
Okay.
We've got there's people from everywhere.
We'll pick it up as we go along.
Yeah.
Wow, that's more people than I was expecting. Okay, well, first of all, welcome along to the living room experience. So this live session, a little bit different to my usual live sessions. Normally they're kind of educational and what have you. This one you're going to be experiencing what is it like to go into a random living room and see if you can reproduce what you would do in a more structured studio environment. So there are limitations in here that I don't have in my actual studio. The first one, I can't reach, but I can see the ceiling. So that is perhaps their biggest limitation is ceiling height. So one of the things I chose when I was picking my proper studio was lots of space above me where I can actually put lights up high. But the real world is, well, it's a standard ceiling. Then there is the space. I've got a limited amount of distance left and right. If you want to know what it is, pop it in the chat. I will look it up for you and work it out. But the biggest amount of limit is this way, because despite how it looks on that camera, Three and a half step. Basically, I've got about 4 steps and I walk into you. So there is a real finite amount of depth going on here, but a really wide angle lens on the camera is making it look like we've got a lot more space. So I'm limited in space, I'm limited in height, I'm limited in what I can actually use as well. So the products I've brought in with me for this photo session are things that are portable rather than the bigger, heavier stuff. So there's no C-stands, for example. There's none of that going on. There's no grip arms going on because I don't have any height to grip anything up there. So it is kind of stuff that you're more likely to have access to. Now, I don't know, does anyone have a small home studio like this? Does this feel familiar? And it really is. I mean, that's the outside world out there. But where we are in the UK, it is 7 o'clock at night. Oh yeah, look, there we go. You can see it there. That's a limited way of doing it. All right, okay, now we're not here on our own. We do have somebody with us, and we have the awesome Charlotte. Give it up for Charlotte. Whoa! Charlotte's going to be the model for this photo session, and against her better judgment, we made her wear red. It's like red. It's like terrifying. Have a seat for me, Charlotte. So Charlotte's going to be the model for this. You'll find Charlotte's information down in the video description, along with links to the kit I'm using. So
we've
go check
had some comments we've had just make a hole to the roof.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, make it taller. Michael's put that ceiling must be 14 feet high. Isn't Gavin like 6'8"?
Yes, I am one of the tallest photographers. Yeah, it's a well-known fact.
Bob asked, where's the furniture?
Yeah. What you can't see is everything. Everything is shoved up that end of the room. And if it isn't up that end of the room, we've put it in little rooms aside. So, yeah, we've kind of taken over this place and made yeah, got rid of everything. But that's what you have to do. If you're running a studio like this, back when I used to do this sort of thing, that's what happened. You would move stuff around just to get the job done.
We've had some comments about people's home studios as well. So, yeah, I struggle with the size. Come back.
Whilst you're
Sorry,
doing
things
that,
are moving. Mine is
hang on a
smaller.
second, hang on. Whilst you're doing that, I've got to take an important picture in the chat. What is the picture I need to take? Go on, Sam.
Very similar to what I have at home. Looks very much like the same size. Dean says his is 5 metres by 4 metres approximately.
Yeah, luxury today. We don't have that. So the distance, if you want to know, it's just under 4 metres. 13 feet is the space from there to there, and well, a lot less the other direction.
So, yeah, so they are on it.
But I can still fall over everything.
NFNC, no flash, no Charlotte.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Height is always an issue. Yeah, that's true. NC, yeah, they're all on it.
Right, let's do it. So let's take exactly that. I'm going to take a picture. Very, very important. If you've not joined us on a live before, this is what we do on Adorama TV. All of us that do live presentations take this picture first. No flash, no picture, or no flash, no Charlotte, as we like to say. So I've dialed in some settings. I've gone for 250th of a second, f5.6, ISO 200. And if I take a picture at those settings, I get this picture coming back at me. Shall I press the button and there we go, let's do that. Okay, no, your screen has not gone wrong. That is literally the photo I've just taken. So you can see I'm underexposing here quite a lot. There is a Charlotte in there somewhere, but we just can't see her. So that's a super important picture, and it's important because it means everything I do from this point on is now my fault. My lights, my fault. If it works, I take the credit. If it doesn't go wrong, I'll probably blame the kit. So, right, okay, so let's just try something. Let's get a picture in the bag. Let's turn this on. I've got nothing to lose by just putting my light onto TTL mode, taking a picture, and Charlotte's awesome, so it'll look awesome. That's how it works. For those that like to know kit, I'm using the Flashpoint Evolve 200 Pro Mark II as my main light today. So let's just take a picture, TTL mode. Here we go, Charlotte. Here we go, fantastic. Looks amazing. Whoa! TTL rocks. Look at that. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, it really is a living room. That is what you're going to expect. You've got drapes or curtains, as we call them, in the background. There is a dodgy bit of plastered wall in the background. All in all, it is exactly what I would expect it to look like. Now, I could probably move over and get the drapes to be a background in their own right, but I don't really want to be governed by the room. I want to make my own background, so I've got this. Okay, this is a pop-up background. Whoa. Okay, so I can actually put this, whoa. Welcome to a lack of space. I can actually put this in as the background. Okay, so, I should say, this is from Glow. It's a really nice, I like that textured side. This is the side you're not supposed to photograph. And it's way more interesting if you want just a simple background. Okay, let's put the light back in. Okay, should we put it the other side so I don't block your camera angle?
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I know, got you back there, Freya, no problem. Okay, so here we go, same basic picture, TTL doing its best. And, I mean, I've taken worse. I think the last one was worse. But that's not bad. If that's what you wanted, nailed it. Great makeup. Charlotte's a makeup artist, can you tell? Absolutely lovely. So that looks good. It's just not what I want. So here's the thing. I'm not in my home studio, but I want to create images that feel like I am in my small home studio rather than in a home. So instead of doing it like this, I'm actually going to try and make that background go dark black. And I know what you're thinking, that's not a black background. Why don't you go and get a black background? Because I might not need it. So we can use something called the inverse square law. And if you're in a small space, you really, really want to know about the inverse square law. Because if I get my light closer, what's going to happen? Two things are going to happen if I get my light closer. Feel free to let me know in the chat what they might be. Okay, so let's do that. So that's much closer. I could use TTL. I prefer to be in manual mode, so I'm going to switch out of TTL mode simply because I like the control, a bit of a control freak. Okay, so let's take a little test photo and see what we get. I'm going to start at 1/16 power. When in doubt, start in the middle. Okay, and it's too bright. So let's go down to 1/32 power. 1/16 to 1/32 is one stop less light coming out my flash. Okay.
So we've got
any answers?
Grid.
Okay.
Light fall off will be greater.
Correct. Yep, spot on. You can see it literally happening.
Is there a mark on the background or your camera sensor?
Almost certainly the camera
Probably
sensor.
both.
No, I think you can safely say camera sensor. Okay, so yeah, fall off. Something called the inverse square law happens. So the inverse square law means that this is where we were when the light was further away. That was probably, what, 3 or 4 feet away? And then as I got it closer, the inverse square law kicks in and the light fall off becomes that more intense. But also, as the light gets closer, so it becomes brighter if I don't do anything about it. So the closer you get your light, the brighter it becomes from your model's point of view, so the less power you need. So in theory, if I get really close, I can make this background more or less black. That's a white background.
So Jay
At
has
home.
put softer light, less light on background.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Good point, Jake. Damn it, yeah.
And
3 things happen.
Gord's put feather the light.
Okay, that is a good idea. Let's do that.
Put the strip vertical.
Okay, we can do that too. Let's do that. It's the easiest. I can do that one. Okay, put the strip vertical. So there's a good reason I'm using a strip box. I like strip boxes, particularly when the space becomes confined, because you can do so much more with a strip box than you could with a big octabox. It's so much more versatile if you like creative lighting. If you're doing family portraits, you just want the biggest, softest, most even light around.
So I have a question about.
Okay, you do that. I'm going to take a...
The box. Rectangular shape or octagonal strobe light makes any difference?
Rectangle or octagonal? Yes, it does, but not necessarily for the reasons people think. A lot of people think that you want to go with the octagonal, which is a rounder shape, because you want rounder catch lights in people's eyes. No one cares. Genuinely, nobody but you and a few other photographers care. Models don't care, your customers don't care, nobody cares about catch lights apart from us. That doesn't make it a bad thing, someone has to care, right? But don't do it just for that reason alone, because even if you get an octagonal softbox, if you put it at this angle, it's not going to be round, it's going to be oval, and the more angular you make it, the more oval it becomes. So
Another question.
the other one is I just get a bit more control, so I have a bit more faster fall off at the extremes like this.
How far away is the light from Charlotte?
I mean, Charlotte, this is, play along with this one, Charlotte. Here we go. Here we go. I don't think I need to say any more, do I? So it is, if you're not joking, it's about a foot. Okay, so if I take a wider picture, and I recommend this is such an important picture to take. This one, here we go. Always take a behind the scenes, so you get an idea of how far away it is. So that should give you a rough and ready idea. Okay, so somebody said grid. That's a good answer. Let's get a grid. Let's get a grid. How can I lose things? There's no space to lose things in here.
There's one for Charlotte. You've done an amazing job with the ombre lip. It photographs brilliantly.
Thank you.
Okay, So a grid. Somebody said feathering. Yes, you could feather, but with the amount of space we've got here, it's much harder to feather the light and get the results I want. The more space you have, the easier that becomes. But a grid in a small space is a definite advantage, because you can see, if I do this, you can see white through that grid. Hang on, I don't want to hit Charlotte with this. There we go. Now you can't see any white. You can see white. So if you can't see any white, no light will reach you, or Charlotte in this case. So the grid is a great way of stopping light from spreading into places you don't want, for example, the background, but keeping it in places you do want, for example, Charlotte. So I can ask Charlotte, if you look through the grid, can you see the white sort of over here anywhere? Yeah. Okay, so if Charlotte can see any of the white, light will reach her. Okay, quick little test photo. Here we go. The downside is it takes away a whole chunk of light. I've got a black background, but I've lost Charlotte. So you generally lose at least a stop. I probably feathered it a touch as well. Okay, so if you want a pure black background in your small portable living room studio, you can get it. No problem. That is a black background. It's not, it's a white background. So we've got control of the light here. We've got nice lighting going on, but you can see this bit here, around here. We're losing all the detail there. It's all blending into the shadows. So we need a second light. So my key light, if you're just joining us, is the Flashpoint Evolve 200 Pro Mark II, and this is the Explore 100 Pro Mark I. They've just bought a new one of these out. I don't have it, so I have the old one. Okay, where are we going to put this? Let's put it up here. There's lots of places we could put this light, but we're going to put it something like that. Oop. Tighten that up. Helps to tighten the right one up. Aha. Okay, so all I want is a little bit of light just hitting the top of Charlotte's head. It doesn't want to be much more than that. Nice and simple. It is turned on. Of course it's turned on. Why would it not be turned on? I'm going to put it down to its lowest possible power, which is 128th power. I'm going to turn off the key light, because the minute you're doing more than one light, you want to see exactly what's going on, one light at a time. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting a little bit of splash onto the background, so it's not going to be a perfectly black background. I think there's a zoom on this. Oh, I don't know if you heard that. I can zoom it in a little bit, and I can definitely feather it.
You got a question?
Far away.
Wouldn't it be so much easier to get just to get a black background?
Yeah, it would. You know what's hard? Dragging them all around with you. So if you've only got one background, if you only have one background, it's good to know how to do this. And keep watching. There is a logic to this as well. Stick around. Okay. But yes, if you have a black background, that saves an awful lot of time and effort. But if you only have one background, this works. Okay. Really, really nice. There we go. So we have a really simple little setup. But why the white? Why this background? Well, I can do this. I can do this. Okay, that. Here we go. I can do this. Now I've got a grey grad background. Okay, so I can change up my background from white to black to grey. I've got more backgrounds than just having a black. And this is reversible as well. So on the opposite side of this background is this one. Hang on. This one. Let's put it in behind.
Have you given your camera settings?
Yeah, f5.6, 250th of a second, ISO 200. However, they are going to change in a second, because that's what photographers do, don't they? Okay, beautiful. Fantastic. Let's put it back to its less
So I've
zooming.
got another question.
Go for it.
Paul asked, could I use a reflector instead of a second flash in this situation?
You could, yeah. So you might struggle a bit with the grid because the grid will stop light necessarily going where your reflector is. So you might have to bear that in mind. But you could use a reflector if you didn't want that pure black background, if you were happy to have a little bit more spill. Absolutely, a 5-in-1 is another perfectly good option. What I'd like is that to be a bit blurrier. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So let's whip this out. Let's change it from a standard lens to a fast glass prime lens f1.2 because that's what it can do. Now, I've got to do something really, really important. If I just take a picture now, change lens, change my aperture, what's going to go wrong? What have I got to do that's really, really important? If you're here at the start, it's that. Okay, quick little test photo. Here we go, Charlotte. Okay, cool. It's that, by the way. So if you're typing in no flash, no picture, yeah, that's f1.2, ISO 200, 8,000th of a second. Let's turn it all back on again. Don't go back to TTL, go back to whatever you were on before, thank you. Okay, and we'll put that backlight all the way back down again. I turn my flash transmitter off. This is what happens. This is what happens. Oh, and I forgot, no. All right, can anyone tell me what I've just done wrong?
Do you want a list?
I must admit, when I said that, I immediately regretted it. Okay, yeah. I know what I've done wrong. Okay. I'm just getting my exposure right. There we go. Smashing.
Brad said, didn't adjust the light.
I did adjust the light. Sort of. You're almost right, Brad. Okay.
No HSS?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to press the HSS button. So,
someone did actually ask if you don't have HSS, what to do?
ND filter. So if you want to get this look, that shallow depth of field, okay, you can see how the shallow depth of field is making these really stand out. I'll get one in focus. Here we go. Optional extra just for you guys. There we go. Shallow depth of field. So the blurry background is coming because I'm at an f1.2 aperture. And if I didn't have high-speed sync, the option would be a ND filter. So something like a 4 or 5 stop ND filter would produce broadly the same results, but in a slightly different way that we're not going to go into today. Okay, that's kind of nice. I wonder what it would look like in black and white. Should we find out? Yes, let's find out.
I reckon not as colourful.
Okay, you're probably right. So black and white. I think at this point I probably want to take the grid off. I think maybe the grid's a bit harsh. But doesn't it look good in black and white? That looks so cool. I also wanted to find out what would happen if I grabbed a few bits from around the room. So,
Just read out a message. This one's really for Charlotte. You're looking very dapper. And then he said, is dapper a word for women still? I know it is for guys that are looking sharp and good.
yeah, it's a compliment. It's Brad. Of course it's a compliment. Right, so we're going to get this close to you, Charlotte, coming in. Try not to hit your knees. So this is a coffee table from this room. This is the box I carried all the stuff in with. And then this is a black surface that we used to do product photography on back in the day. Okay, and hopefully that should give Charlotte something to actually kind of rest upon and give us a surface that reflects. Let's find out if it works. And this is where I might have to lose that grid. We'll see. We'll see. Let's have a little look. Oh, that's what it looks like if you need your eyes testing. If that looks sharp to you, then you probably should go and get a sight test done. Okay, so somebody said about rotating the strip box. Yes, let's rotate the strip box. Still need to ask Charlotte. Charlotte, can you still see through the holes? Okay. Charlotte can see through the holes. Light will find Charlotte. Okay, have a little look at this one. Okay, so this is vertical, horizontal. Can you see the fall off from that horizontal is dramatic, whereas the fall off from the vertical that's the same exposure. I haven't changed a thing. I may have got it a touch closer when I moved it, but that is the same basic exposure, but without that fall off from the strip box being rotated into a horizontal position. And that works quite nicely. That's the cursor is.
Michael's put, didn't realise Gavin was an optometrist, which looks better, photo 1 or photo 2?
Well,
actually,
funny you should say that.
Job, yeah.
Before I was an optician. Oh, before I was a photographer. Before I was an optician, I was a student. Okay, that kind of works quite nicely. I like that. That has a lovely simpleness to it, doesn't it? Which is really rather cool. Yeah, is that good? I don't know. What do we think? Are we happy with that? Should we do it in colour as well? I'm doing everything in RAW, so that's really important to remember, because everything in RAW means that although it's a black and white image that you're seeing, it's not actually. It's still a colour image. When you bring it into Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One, or whatever bit of software you're using, you're still going to have this kind of image that you can then turn to black and white later on.
We've got a comment from Michael that says, come on guys, Gavin has to feed his family with likes.
Yes, oh yeah.
Let's get these thumbs up, lights up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
I think everyone's concentrating is what they're doing. So if you can stop concentrating for a minute and go and hit the thumbs up, that would definitely be appreciated. Okay, that works quite well. Let's see if we can modify this a little bit. So I quite like that dramatic black and white look. So I think I might pop it back to black and white. And what I'd like to do is try and take the same idea and modify it a little bit, because I'm a lazy photographer, and if I can get something different from basically the same, I will. So I think we can probably leave the background as it is and lose the strip box. Yeah, never enough room, is there? And maybe we can do something more like this. So let's have some light coming from directly above, like that. There is a modelling lamp on this one, so perhaps I should turn that on. I really wish I'd turned the modelling lamp on before I'd put it up in the air. And it has quite a powerful modelling lamp, this one. So if I go here, yay, 100%. Whoa, ooh, see that? That's powerful. So I'm using the Speedlight head today on the Evolve 200 Pro Mark II. It has an improved Speedlight head over the old Evolve. If you've tried that, you know the light can go in all sorts of directions, where with this one it's much more controlled. But it also has a much brighter modelling lamp on the front as well, which is bi-colour, so you can change the colour if you really want to, but it isn't going to make any difference.
We've got a comment. Some barn doors, Jellu has said.
Yeah, it doesn't fit the barn doors from the old head, which is really annoying. There may well be barn doors for it, but I haven't got any. But I do have a Freya, and she's a pretty good barn door substitute. But we'll get to that in a minute. That's fine.
I forgot I was meant to be doing anything today. It's like, what do you want me for? Why are you saying my name?
I'm going to switch over lenses again. Hang on. Let's pop that one there, grab that one.
Are your tether tools bits of gear that you've got over there, are they in the list? In the description? They might be.
It's an Optima 10G cable from Tether Tools. This is the 32 foot, which is ridiculous. Get the 15 foot if you're in this sort of space. I'm going to be at the photography show in Birmingham in March, and the 32 foot cable will be perfect for that. Once a year. The rest of the time it's too big. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to some sensible settings. Let's do f5.6, 250th of a second, ISO 200. We'll switch off high-speed sync, and a bare flash needs a lot less power. I'm going to guess 1/16th power. Let's see what we get here. Hey, okay. What do we think? Too bright, too dark? Okay, let's go right down. Probably gone a touch too far. Somewhere in the middle. Yes, I've panicked and went too far. Welcome to the world of being a photographer. How's that gone on back up again? That feels about right, doesn't it? Okay, we could get a flash meter and meter. Oh yeah, that was there. Okay, that's fine. We could get a flash meter and meter it, but it is stark. It is harsh. It is dramatic, and I want to modify it a little bit. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. I got Freya to have a go at this earlier. Let's just call it a work in progress. So here's my thinking. What I'd like is the control of light. So I'd like the light not to go all over the place, but to be more like a set of barn doors, more like a thinner beam of light. That's what's going on in my head. Thinner beam of light. Now, barn doors are good, but the trouble with barn doors is they sit very, very close to your light, and the effect I want is a little sharper. So I'm going to use some stuff from the house. So this is just some packaging, which I've had obviously knocking around for quite a while because it's pretty ropey. But it is 2 bits of plastic, good for the environment, recycling. Use them again and again with a bit of duct tape, everyone's favourite, gaff tape, holding them together. But I've taken one end off, so I've got an adjustable hole. I didn't want to say that, but I said it anyway. You know when your brain says stop? And you kept going. An adjustable, yeah, I could have gone worse. It could have been worse. That's what I'm saying. Right, so here's the plan. I don't know which camera angle is going to work. Yeah, that kind of works, doesn't it? So this is going to create, yeah, right where my hands are. Yeah, hang on. I can do this side.
You just take your hands off, maybe.
I take my hands off?
Yeah.
How do I take my hands off?
Well, you work it out. I'm just the ideas person.
Anyway, can you see that? If you've got a phone, you'll probably have to get a bit closer to the screen. But as I open and close the aperture, I can create a little slot of light. Yeah, something like that. The only problem is, how do I do this and also take a photo? Now, if I was in my studio, what I would do is I would get a grip arm and some clamps, and I'd clamp all this on. I'm not in my studio. If you're just joining us, I'm in a living room. This is not a photography studio. This doesn't have any of the kit hidden in drawers where I can just open it and find a perfect bit of kit that I can just drop on here. This is the real world. So, real world requires...
Dean said, let Freya take the photo.
Yeah, now steady. Okay.
Hold it with your teeth, yeah.
Ooh.
My toes, maybe I can.
Oh, no.
I mean, I can probably. Anyway, Freya's going to hold it.
Oh.
Out you come.
Oh, there was a lovely comment for Charlotte. Side note: her makeup is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It is amazing.
That's Candy.
Thanks, Candy. Okay. Right. So I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know where you're going to stand. I don't know what you're going to do.
Okay.
But make it happen. Make magic. I like assistants. This is good. I should get an assistant more often. Okay. Right. Let's see what we get. That's perfect. Here we go. Haha. Nailed it in one.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh.
That's compared to what we had earlier. That's a lifetime better. That's not bad. You did well. Let's turn that background down because I don't want it quite so bright. So I've turned the background light down a little bit, just so it feels a little bit more okay.
Okay, yeah, that's
I mean,
just my arm.
yeah, we can use an AI to do that. What we'll do with AI is we'll make that appear on both sides simultaneously. So then it looks on purpose. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it is a random experiment. That's the same lighting. I haven't changed anything. The light is still exactly the same power. It is just that not so much made it through the hole. Okay, that's all right, but maybe we can make it a bit better.
It's a bit of love for your comfy slippers.
Oops. Right, you and your slippers go over there a bit. Keep going, keep going, keep going. But should we do it this side? Because otherwise no one will see. and then you can hide your slippers. Okay, I also need to go and reattach my background because it's off. So I've moved the light. Should we do one without the card first, just to see where we're at? I've moved the light to the side. So this gives us a bit more dramatic lighting. Obviously, we'll wake Charlotte up before we do the photos.
Sorry, I baked exactly.
No. Look, you're a makeup artist. That's an important picture, isn't it? Bearing in mind, it's in colour as well. I know it's in black and white, but it's also available in colour. Yeah, to be fair, that's what makeup artists like. They want to see that work that gets covered up is important. Okay, let's try that again. So first, yeah, with you, yeah. So yeah, I see what you mean. Yes, read my mind. Be a mind reader.
No, thank you.
Just hold the damn bit of card up, will you? Okay, let's see where we go. So I need to adjust what I'm seeing with what we're getting here. That's great.
What are we guessing?
Oh, you need to unzoom.
Yeah. It's like I'm busy. Probably needs a bit of a tweak in post-processing, and I'm not a big fan of that, but you know what? Right now, I think it's the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Let's see if we can just take it up
I
a
think
step.
that looks so cool.
Coming in from the side, looks okay, doesn't it? Charlotte, can you kind of like lean onto this a little bit? Freya, I don't know, shall I move this back a bit?
If you want.
I can do, and then you don't have to trip over it, because that's my job. You get your own thing. Okay. So it's fun, because what I'm seeing is very different from the modelling lamp to what I'm actually capturing, which is great. The modelling lamp is helping, it's giving Freya a guide, and I'm seeing things that are very different. But that's fun, isn't it? Okay, that's cool. That worked out really well. Give it up for Freya. Woo! Okay.
Where do you want this?
You can take that, you can keep that. You can put it back in the studio when we get back. Marvellous. Okay, so that is a kind of a low-tech way of creating something a bit more dramatic, using the same basic setup for the classic headshots. Let's get rid of some of this stuff and see if we can make it a little different. And see if we can take it up a level. Okay, so this is not your standard bit of kit, but it's worth having. They're kind of big and they're kind of bulky, and if I was traveling, I'd really want to have a very good reason, and I did have a very good reason, because I knew exactly what I was trying to photograph today. This is the Flashpoint BFP 4 Flash. Okay, there we go. Let's get that. Okay, 4 Flash. I guess that means you can't use it for LED lights, and they do an LED version, which you definitely can't use for flash, because the distance in there on the LED one is much shorter, because LEDs, the chips are right up against, they're flat basically, aren't they? Where flashes, you need the depth. So yeah, 4 Flash. So we just need to get that on and see if we can create a similar effect using that. Anyone got a projector? Love my projectors. Okay.
Dean has said, wow, the light strainer has had a makeover. The light strainer 4000.
You could buy a lot of light strainers for the price of this one, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just try and create something broadly similar. So let's see where we go. I'm going to just see if I can get the lines to focus up. I never know which way you're supposed to turn this to focus. That feels like I'm going the wrong way. Oh, no. I started to lose confidence I was going in the right direction. I'm glad I didn't. It's spinnable, which is nice. Okay, let's do something like that. Okay, quick little test photo. I've no idea what the exposure is going to be on this, Charlotte. So this is very much a, let's see what happens when I press the shutter. Okay, so much more controllable, yeah? Much more controllable. Kind of nice, I like that. I wonder if I can make it thinner. So in my mind, what I want to create is more like a little laser line. So I'm going to try and get these blades, or cutters as they're known, to create a much thinner line. I'm going to do it on the background and then I can see where I'm going. Nobody breathe. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to focus it up on Charlotte. Ooh, as I focus it up, it becomes much, much thinner. It's also rotatable, so I can rotate this around. Okay, cool. Let's see how this looks. Okay, have a look at this. Ooh, I've got a bit of an issue at the bottom. I can deal with that by readjusting one of these cutters. I don't know which one, it's the other one. Okay, cool. And obviously I've got quite a bit of shadow going on there. Can we go back to that? Yeah, you can barely see Charlotte at all. So what we're going to do is use another light. I got the other light. Let's get this light. And rather than having this light pointing at the background, I'm going to point it at the ceiling. Going up. Like that. Okay. I'm going to switch it on. Oh, it is on. It's going to need quite a bit more power, so I reckon 1/8 power, middle of the road. Possibly a bit more. Let's have a little look. Okay, let's move it around as well. Welcome to working in a location you don't normally work in. I could do this in my sleep in my studio because I've done it so many times. It's a lot harder when you're in a new place. That's too bright. Because you're kind of learning as you go, and you're watching me learn as I go.
So Brad has put, what about turning the slit of light 90 degrees and putting it across her eyes or lips? Would be amazing for a makeup brand shot, focusing on the colour. Okay,
it's rotatable, so I can rotate this around. And I can try and get it through Charlotte's eyes. Like that, but it's blooming hard. And Charlotte can't move much. So, yeah, I think, you know. Thank you very much. We're here all week. So, yeah, you can do that. I'm going to stick to the vertical because I think it looks just a little bit more weird and also gives Charlotte a lot more freedom to move around, if there is such a thing. I'm also going to change a couple of things. Let's see. Black and white's great. Let's go to colour. And let's change the colour white balance. I reckon if I was in my studio, I would do this. Okay, I'm going to change it up, we're going to mix it up, we're going to make it a bit more dramatic, but I've changed it to a much colder white balance. It's way too bright on that flash for the fill now, so let's take it down 2 stops. That was 2 stops. Okay, that's not too bad. What if we change the colour of that line? What if we change that? What if we change the colour of the line to this? So I'm just going to add a gel, hopefully, if I get it in the right way around. Uh-oh.
Is it purple?
Yeah, what colour would you like?
Just wondering.
Is it purple?
Robert has just said, great opportunity for colour filters. Heavily tinted for the fill.
I mean, I guess it's sort of purpley, but no, it's red. It's got to be red,
In what
red dress,
world?
red, everything, isn't it? Charlotte, do you want to just stand up against the background for me? Okay, so if I put it on the background, I'm going to need to focus it up a little bit. Come on, light. Yeah, I think. Is that in focus? That's probably in focus. Close enough. Yeah, that's fine. That looks pretty good. Okay, yeah. So that gives us that kind of red splash just going through the middle of Charlotte. We can turn it up a little bit, maybe. Let's take it up a stop. Okay, Charlotte, here we go. Pretty good. I'm going to take the fill light down a little bit as well. I'm just juggling settings just to see what feels right. There's no actual right with this. Okay, that feels like a better balance, doesn't it? So most of the light you're seeing is coming from the Explore 100, which is just giving me that, that blue wash of light. Do some verticals. And then the key light, the Evolve 200 Pro Mark II, is giving me, I'm just going to focus it up, is going to give me that little singular beam of laser light. It's not actually a laser. Don't do this with actual lasers. It's not very safe. I can't work out what in focus is. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that then. Fantastic. Boom. Okay, that's fun. So really important, when you've got a technique that's really working for you, I'm going to move it closer, and there's something that you really need to do. Highly recommend this. Let's see if we can get it in focus again. It's exciting, isn't it? Watching someone focus a lens. And there, okay. So these are good. Let's stop on that one because that one's pretty awesome. Okay, that works quite well. So once you've got an idea that's really working, don't forget to take this picture. And just to be really good at what you're doing, take it like this. Aperture priority mode, reset everything back to the correct colors. Aperture priority mode means that we get a much lighter experience. So this is super useful for reminding you what on earth you actually did to get those photos. Can't stress enough how important this is as a picture. We take this picture a lot. Okay, we've got, what have we got, 10 minutes to go? 10 minutes to go. Is anyone still watching? Okay, just checking, otherwise, we could knock off early. Pretty sure Denise would appreciate that at the other end. But
what lens are you using?
So I'm using the OM system, because I'm using Olympus cameras, 12 to 40 millimeter lens for this one. But if you want to know on the projector, this is the 85 millimeter lens on the projector, if that helps. Right, okay, so do you want to just step out of the way a second? So last little bit, Charlotte's dressed in red. I made her dress in red. That's me, my fault. She normally dresses in black, default for Charlotte. So yeah, something different is good. So I think we should lean into the red. So what I'm going to do is, in the space that we've got, try and work out what is better to create a red background using gels or just to get some red fabric and put it up. Let me know in the comments. What's going to be easier, gels or just get some red fabric? So let's get some gels. Should I give you a chair? Yeah, let's give you a chair. Okay, have a seat. Anyone seen my other, oh yeah, here it is. My other light. Okay, so we'll get a light. I will find that red gel that I had. Here it is. So red gel, I'm just going to attach the red gel to a gel holder.
So you've got some answers.
Yep.
We've got gel, green gel, gel, fabric, gel, just paint the wall red.
Oh yeah, which is kind of why we can't get in the studio at the moment.
Oh, it's not being painted red.
Isn't it? I'm sure I said paint it red. I like red. Anyway, yeah, look, honestly, if you want to turn the world red, it doesn't get quicker or easier than that, does it? There we are. I've made this a red wall. I have a red wall. Just put a red gel over the... I mean, yeah, that obviously is the quickest way of doing it. Is it the best? Let's see what we can do. So think about what I've got here. I've got a limited amount of space between Charlotte and this white background. I've got a red gel aimed at it. Am I going to get a nice red background if we turn off the main light? Let's turn off the light there. And we just work with one light. Again, multiple lights, work with one light at a time. Will this produce a nice bright red, or is this going to be an absolute disaster? I actually don't know. Hang on, Charlotte. It will, if I actually do this correctly, work. Let's put it on 1/32 power. Who knows? Maybe that's exactly the right setting. Okay. That is a white background. Yes, a white background. but it's only white if we throw white light at it. If we throw coloured light at it, you're going to get the colour of that light, in this case red light, therefore a red background. Is it even? No. What if I turn the power up? Let's go up to maybe 2 stops more, 1/8 power. Here we go, 1/8 power. Is it even? Yeah, it's evener, isn't it? Except it's not. It's just brighter at the edges and brighter in the centre. It's just brighter all over. It just gives the illusion of even because some of it is hidden behind Charlotte. And I can find that out for sure if I take this up to full power. Here we go. Whee! Yeah. I mean, if that's what you wanted, that's I've taken worse. So, yes, gels will work. There's no reason, even in a small space like this, that you can't use a gel to create quite an interesting background. But the wider you go, the more you start to see the limitations of what a gel can do. So it sort of works. And if we just popped a key light, just to lift you off the background, even though I'm not in my studio, I'm still going to put the light on the softbox, not the softbox on the light, because it's quicker. Okay.
Got a question?
Fire away.
David asked, do you prefer a white or grey background for colouring with gels?
Grey if I know that I'm going to throw colour onto it, and I know that's what I'm going to do. White because it's on the reverse of a background that I quite like. But if I could get this background with a grey, great. That'd be lovely. I'll have that. Thank you very much. But I used to paint my own backgrounds back in the day when I had some old ones that were getting pretty tatty. You just paint them, which was kind of fun.
Painted a few recently.
We did,
we?
yeah.
Like last year or
We
year
did,
before?
well, yeah, they were the canvas ones, but the old pop-up ones, I used to paint those.
Oh, I see. That sounds fun.
Oh, can I turn it on? Oh, you put that on the screen, didn't you?
Why would I not?
So mean. Okay, so when I throw in the key light, can you see what happened to the background? Have a look in this top corner here. Okay, that's before, that's after. You can see this has gone much more pink. This light is hitting the background and causing some of the colour to be washed out. It's really just making the white come through. Remember, it reflects the colour of light that you put onto it. So it's a whitish background. You put white light, it's going to come back white. And that really cancels out the red. I put it a bit too bright, to be fair, so I could probably take it down a little bit and do it properly. But even so, it loses something in translation. I think I can get some of that back if I just do that. Did you see what I did? Moved the light. Oh, move the light, it gets that much brighter. You'd think I'd know this by now. Honestly. This is why we do recorded videos and edit out all the mistakes. Okay, so yeah, but it's not quite, it just doesn't quite work. So in a small space, gelling is fine, but sometimes you just need the right colour. So, to finish off, we've got some minutes. This is just some red fabric. If you're travelling, if you're going from place to place, just having some fabric just to put in boxes to stop things rattling around is just useful. So why not make it fabric that you could actually throw up as a background? So I'm going to throw this background with a nice red colour, with a whole bunch of A-clamps. This might take a while, so if you've got any questions, now is a very good time to get them in.
There is a question from Adele. Winter won't last forever. Are there any plans to film outdoors in the snow? We don't actually have any snow. We could film in the rain.
Oh, the UK.
It's not quite so romantic, is it?
No, there's two problems with snow in the UK. The first, we don't really get it where we are. It's very rare. And the second, when we do, absolutely everything comes to a standstill. And it doesn't need to be a lot of snow. I'm talking less than an inch. And the whole world just goes, well, the whole country just goes mad. And everybody stays at home. And then about 24 hours later, it's all melted and gone. It's always slushy as well. Never nice. making it sound great to everyone that's not been in the UK. Okay, so can we pop it up the top? Can I get it to hook?
What fabric is crease-proof? Creases are the bane of my life.
Ta-da! Okay, so when you're looking for fabric, look for stuff called jersey fabric. It's the stuff they make t-shirts out of. So it has a 4-way stretch. So have a look for jersey, 4-way stretch, and that you can then stretch out and remove the creases like that. Yes, I know there's some in the corner. I think I've run out of A-clamp. Oh no, I've got another A-clamp. I've got another A-clamp. Here we go. Smart. Okay, so where were we? Let's put that there. Smash in. Here we go. Right, okay, there we go. Can you spot the difference? That's done with very little care. That was with the gels, and that is with the red fabric. Which do you prefer? And there's no right and wrong answer. If that's what you wanted, smashed it. That's pretty good. But I think with the whole look we've got going on here, this just feels more in keeping. Okay. My white balance could do with being a bit warmer. No one's put that in the chat, but they should have done, because it could definitely not that warm. I'm doing everything in raw, so I can change it. One thing I have in the studio that I haven't brought with me is my colour checker passport, which would allow me to get a much more accurate white balance. So that's a mistake. But that's kind of how it goes. When you're in somewhere that isn't your usual shooting location, there are always compromises. It's just a matter of deciding which ones you can live with. Charlotte, do you want to just stand up? We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, Charlotte. We can do this. Go stand up against the background. Because the other advantage of bringing some fabric along with you is this. You can have your model stand up against the background. Can't do that with a gel. Unless you have a whopping great big softbox, I suppose. Okay, now, spin that around. What's going to happen if I do nothing at all? It's going to be dark. Yep, because Charlotte's further away than we were before. I need to compensate if this is the picture I want to take. Spoiler, it isn't. Because it's fine, it's safe, it works. Right, if you were here at the beginning, thank you for staying to the end. If you're here at the end and you're watching the recording, hello recorded people, what's it like in the future? Have we got flying cars yet? Is there a reconstitution pizza thing that you can stick a thing in, a pizza comes out the other end? Oh. Do you not see? So Back to the Future was on the other day. Right. Rehydrated. Someone please tell me about they think I'm mad now. Rehydrating pizza. Rehydrating. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, if you were here at the beginning, then you know we added a grid to get control over the spill of the light. But that's not the only thing that grids can do. Grids can give you direction to your light as well. So, again, I'll need to make sure I get my exposure right. Test photo. Let's see what we're getting. A little bit more light required. Let's take it up a stop. 1/4 power. Okay, that's pretty punchy. But that kind of looks nice, isn't it? Let's move that around a little bit. Take it down a touch. Beautiful.
So Kevin said, great work, guys. Charlotte really suits that red. Another
See?
option colour for the future.
Beautiful, really good. Look into the light for me, Charlotte, or at least look up. Don't look directly into the light. Just look up past the edge.
Was self-lacing shoes another?
Self-drying clothes. I think self-lacing shoes have actually been invented. So it's self-drying clothes. Yes, drying mode activated. Good job they can't see you at the today, isn't it? Okay, full length. So I've just spun it around a little bit just so we can get a bit more full length pictures. Fantastic. What do we want to do whenever you've got a good setup? You know as well as I do, behind the scenes. Make sure you do a behind the scenes picture. Grab one of those, super useful. And just so I can check what happens if I take the grid off. Let's just take the grid off, knock the light down by a stop. And take a few photos without the grid. Beautiful. Last one, coming in close. Fantastic. There we go, we're done. So that brings us bang on top of the hour to 9 o'clock our time, or 3 o'clock New York time.
8 o'clock.
What does it say? Oh yeah, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, looking at the wrong time. Yeah, out of my studio, losing it completely. Okay, so hopefully you found that useful. That was a real world experience of being out of your comfort zone, out of your usual shooting location, and into what is essentially just someone's living room with low ceilings, limited space. Yes, we pushed all the furniture out of the way, but this is all we got to play with, and kits that I bought, most of which I used, but always things that I didn't bring that I would have liked to have bought. Right, that brings us to the end of the live stream. Give it up for the amazing Charlotte. Woo! You can find Charlotte's link in the video description below. Whilst you're down there, you'll find links back to all of the kit I'm using that will take you back to Adorama. So thank you, Adorama, for letting me do this yet again. This was number 49. Next month is number 50. Woo!
Next month is the 10th of February.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, I've just looked it up.
Yeah, 10th of February. Have you booked a model for that one already?
Yes. Would you like to know?
Yes. Well,
We have Soph.
Oh, okay. Sophie's coming. Marvellous. That's pretty cool. So that's great. Charlotte will be back in the studio before too long. Watch out. We have a video coming with Charlotte very soon. I'd like to give it up to Freya on the Super Switcher, Sam on the comments. You can't see them.
But
You can hear us.
Hear us. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for all your comments,
Hang on a minute,
joining
I have
in.
to get behind the scenes.
Oh, no. Should we hide?
There you go. The blurry behind the scenes.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's all we
Where
are.
did all
That's
the
us on the
furniture
sofa. So thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little, out of everyone's comfort zones here. Except, actually, we're quite comfortable, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable.
Yeah, it's quite comfy here. Hopefully you'll join us next time.
Fantastic.
10th of February.
10th of February. Right. There we go. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.